Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. I'm Abe with MysticGenMara.com, a small town mystic from the middle of Idaho. And tonight, whenever you happen to be seeing this, I would like to offer your elemental energy reading bonus reading for June of 2026 for the elemental energy of Earth. This one right here. And Earth covers the zodiac signs of Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. So if you're Taurus, Virgo, or Capricorn, or have Earth high up in your chart, then this message is for you. If you've never had your charts read, there is a link in the description for a natal chart through Llewellyn. It's just a basic chart, gives you your base 12 houses with all little signs and symbols, and then there's a 10 to 20 page description of what all that interesting stuff means, because when I first started, I'm still struggling with some of it. Astrology and the zodiac was a mystery outside of knowing my sun sign, so that does have some good information in there. I'm currently just shuffling our cards for our reading and pulling our cards. How I like to do bonus readings is to use the Celtic Cross setup with a couple of variations that make more sense to me as the person who does the reading. So we'll get into that. Also, if I read intuitively, so if you see something different with the cards, feel free to comment down below with your intuitive guidance as well. It's always interesting to hear what other people have to say. And then while you're down there, hit that subscribe button, like, and do all that fun jazz as well. And we're waiting for one last card. Here we go. One last card for your reading. So, Earth. Let's see what June has to offer for extra information. You're starting off with your significator. This is who you are in a totality of a snapshot in this moment. You have the Six of Cups. There's this energy that you've completed several projects. You still have a couple more to do, but you're actually being, in this moment, rewarded for the hard work you've put in. And with cups being water, this could be an emotional reward where people are praising or something like that. It could be monetary, but I'm feeling it's more of like accolades type thing. And so this is where you're at in the moment. You've completed some projects. You got 5 of them going on back here. You still got one more going on. But people are actually noticing what you're doing. And there's this energy of accomplishment. I'm also feeling that you have a little bit of quiet pride. Like you don't want to say anything to anyone else, but you feel like you've done this thing, and it's really actually supportive of you in this moment. So you're starting off strong, Earth. The energy that's crossing you, so this is a challenge or something to be aware of, is the Queen of Swords. The Queen of Swords is things not going the way you planned. Getting success, but not in the way you had anticipated. So like the egg, whoops, wrong direction. The egg is the original plan. Well, obviously things didn't hatch out the way you're supposed to. But you have all these butterflies, and that's the indication that, yeah, it may not have shown up how you wanted, but don't think for a minute you didn't get success. So this energy that's coming in, that's crossing you, that's more of a challenge, is saying the self-doubt that might be coming forward is something to be aware of. Doesn't mean it's wrong, because we all have moments where that stuff happens, but the reality is you're in a better place because of the challenge. And if you haven't experienced it yet, this is one of those things where just be aware. This is something that could be showing up. It's not saying it's going to for everyone. These are general readings after all, but that's something to be aware of. Your higher self, and this is like the highest version of you that interacts, is actually the Fool, which is an interesting one to start to go that direction with. 0 and the Fool, this is major arcana energy. Your higher self is saying, because of everything that you've accomplished so far, you've reached the end of a path and you're being opened up to a new one. So when your higher self is coming in, it's saying, you may be a little naive on something right now, Earth, and that's okay, because you're beginning a new era. You're not alone. You've got your friends down here, and you've got some supporters and higher ups, either in business or in energy work or in spirit, showing up to support you, and you're at peace. You're carrying a white rose, so you're in a peaceful state here, and that's beautiful, because you finished some stuff, you're getting ready to start some more stuff, you're almost done with some other side project, and your higher self is saying you're in the prime position to really get going on a new long-term path or goal. This is not a time of, well, I could do this. No, it's time to really broaden the horizon and see what's going on outside there, and that's what's coming up for you. Your shadow, I don't think I've ever had this happen before. Your shadow is number 1. The Fool is 0, so you're beginning, not a lot of knowledge there, but your shadow is actually bringing forward the fact that you do have a lot of knowledge, because your shadow is the shaman or the magician in traditional tarot. And for Earth, this is saying you may not physically consciously be aware of what you know because your shadow is hiding it all. Because that's what we do with our shadow. We take something that we've been told is bad or something that we've been told is inappropriate, we shove it in the shadow, and then your shadow rises up and brings it back when you need it. And so your shadow right now is saying, yes, your higher self is showing you that there's this new path ahead, and you don't think that you think, oh, I'm good, I don't need anything. Your shadow's like, yeah, you kind of do. So let's take a peek at what can be brought forward with that. And so if you have something in your shadow that is like, oh, your quirky way of dealing with problems, and someone told you that's a horrible thing, so you're like, fine, I'll put it away, that actually could work for you. And that's what's coming up, is whatever's coming. When you start working with your shadow, the first thing that comes to mind is usually the best option to start working with, because it's what you're ready to deal with. And that's what's being said here, is you have so much knowledge, wisdom, talent, skills, tools, whatever term you want to use, buried in your shadow. Yes, you are the naive, innocent person starting out on a new journey, but you have everything you need. You just have to become aware of it. So your immediate history, the last 1 month, 6 months, or a year, is the Seven of Swords. This one's an interesting one because it shows that you've completed all of these problems, trials, experiences. However, you're still ready to fight a couple of more, but your past shows that it's showing that you've had this energy of someone trying to steal your thunder, that you have had to basically battle and claw yourself up, and so you're a little leery of anyone who's getting close to you, which is your past energy, which ties into your future or your current, where you've had all these successes and you're guarding what you've earned. You still have some more things to work on, but you're getting there. But your past was saying that there's this energy of conflict, and it's unresolved in a lot of ways, but it's unresolved on their part. Like, you've gotten over this. You know what happened, and you're like, you know what, good. You're out of my way. You're out of my life. You stay over there. So your past is really showing that you've had to step up, Earth, and there's this strength of character that's been developed from that, and so you're ready to move forward. So your immediate future, the next 1 month, 6 months, or a year, is the Eight of Cups. You have some mystery going on in your future. There's some unknown qualities, and these could be emotional, but they could also be spiritual in nature. There's things moving behind the veil, so to speak. And Earth, you're ready for something different and something new. You've been practicing, I'm hearing, you've been practicing living in the now moment, which means you embrace the mystery and the unknown. You still put out your intentions and you make your plans, but you're okay with things being different. And the Eight of Cups is saying, good, now that you understand that, we can proceed forward and watch the miraculous things that happen through the gift, talent, and skill of the universe's mystery schools. So you're in a very interesting path right here of things not being known fully, and you're actually really okay with that going forward. So your next 1 month, 6 months, or a year is looking up, but it's being observed through the energy of the moment. So there could be other people might see this as a negative, but you're so excited for something new and different that you're okay with it being a little mysterious. Your inner world, so this is what the kind of thoughts going on in your head, your personal attitude. We have the Knight of Swords. Feeling a little conflicted right now, are we, Earth? Because that's what this means. It means that there's so much going on inside of you. Outwardly, you're looking really good, a little mysterious at times, and that's not a bad thing. But in your own mind, you feel like you're searching for this truth, this thing that's going to cut away all the nonsense. And you've been damaged because you've had to fight for this truth for so long. But you're still feeling a little bit chaotic inside. The Knight of Swords, Knight of Air, is your opposite energy. Air is your opposite. So this is a challenge. It could be the fact that you feel like you're overthinking it, or that you are overthinking it and you can't quite figure out how to quiet the noise going on in your head. And what I'm getting with this is a challenge. It's your inner voice. It's your inner world, the thoughts and feelings you have. And the challenge is, how do you overcome this? How do you quiet all of that chaos so that you can actually think more clearly and move forward without all the unnecessary nonsense going on? Your outside world, now this is the stuff that you can't control but does affect you, is number 20, the Judgment card. There's this energy of discernment. There could be some judging going on. People could be like critiquing you, going, ew, what is Earth doing? Why are they wandering through the woods in your future, being all mysterious and eerie and speaking of their a love of the unknown? Like, who wants that? And so this judgment energy could be something along that lines, like the old after school TV movies, but it also could be this discernment. Someone higher up is observing you, and they are seeing that you have this unique gift or skill, and they're willing to step in. And this is where we get into the discernment aspect of it, the higher frequency of judgment. You could have a lower frequency or a higher frequency of judgment. For you, I would definitely say just go ahead and focus on that higher part. Know that there is God's source, your guides or guardians, or it could be someone higher up in a business you're working at, or something along those lines like a mentor that's observing you, going, Earth has what we're looking for. So how do we incorporate Earth going forward? And don't worry about the lower judgments, those yappy ones that are always trying to pick you apart and tell you you're not good enough. They'll get their just desserts, so don't worry about them. Your hopes and fears. So these are two different energies here, but this particular card, the Three of Cups, is a very celebratory card. So your hope is this joy, this success, this ability to have things overflow so you can share with other people. And you have a great group of friends. They're all here to support you. What I'm feeling is the fear, and this is something, Earth, just to be aware of. It doesn't mean it's going to be locked in. You have this fear of failing. You have this fear of losing your friends and your family or whatever supporting you, like your coworker group and things like that. But what I'm getting from source, or my intuition, guidance, however you want to phrase that, is that's the fear that you carry, and that ties into this it didn't go my way, I failed energy, and those are both illusions. So don't carry those forward. And this is kind of an emotional card. Obviously it's water, so it's emotions. So you want to focus on the positive emotions, the joy, the success, that having, as you go forward here, this love of the mystery, the love of the unknown, and the success that goes along with that. And don't allow the fears to really isolate you. Now, your overall outcome is the Two of Swords. This is, again, your contrarian energy, which is air. But this one is about take the time. Earth, take the time for self-care. Pull away from the world for once in a while. It's okay. Doing the things that help you recover and repair is great. And this is saying mentally you may need to pull away and have like an off evening. Social events and you're like, nah, I'm good. I'm just going to go home and I'm going to watch a movie or read a book or just sit in silence. Because it's going to open the gateway to the moon, which is the gateway of intuition and inner guidance. And that's part of your shadow as well, by the way, because your shadow is bringing forward wisdom, knowledge, and abilities and skills. And this outcome that you have here is really saying the best way for things to go the way you would like, which is stepping into that mystery, really getting into the unknown and allowing yourself to clear out the excess in the brain and allow yourself the success that you know is there. You just have to figure out how to access it. Is to take the time to go through the gateway of stillness and silence. Allow yourself the gift of something new coming in. There is an underlying theme, an underlying thread through all of this, and that is the Ace of Swords. The Ace of Swords is a beginning of a new mental challenge. It could be the new path on schooling or education. For Earth, this being your contrarian energy, says things as you go forward, there is a challenge here. This is not going to be just a one and done, oh, it'll be easy, I can get over this. No, you've got some things to work on. And it's not negative. It's just saying it's not going to be easy. Now, if that was like the Ace of Cups, it'd be like, oh, this is going to be, we're starting something new, could be a little emotional, but it's going to be fun. The Ace of Swords, because it's your opposite, is saying, yes, you have some growth potential. You're getting ready for this huge shift, especially with the Fool as your higher self. You've got this energy coming in, and you're excited about it. There's a couple of warning signs going on here, but with that Ace of Swords, you have this call to, it's a new beginning that you have chosen. It may not be easy because it's going to challenge the way you view the world and challenge the way you show up in the world. And this could be an intellectual thing, or it could be just how you show up in the world in general. So it's not bad in this instance, but it's definitely saying, don't think that the move forward momentum into that mystery is going to be the easiest thing in the world for you. You're going to enjoy it, but you may have to work for it too. So let's hop over and do our oracle cards here real quick. How I do these is I will pull 3 cards, then we'll go through each one. It could be an answer to a question, or it could be just more information for the reading. And if it's a question, you feel free to pause the video right now, ask your question, and then when you push play, we'll go through the cards and we can see what source is bringing in. So with that, your first card is number 27, 3 threes, 3 times 3 times 3, so power number here, and it's generosity. With generosity, it says that being someone who wants to give of their time and of their effort. But by giving, you also receive. So generosity is really connecting a circuit. So you're giving, you're receiving, you're giving, you're receiving. And the energy that comes with this is as you're going forward here. Earth, you have this history of some things that maybe didn't go the way you wanted them to. But the future, because you don't know what's going to happen and you're quite okay with that, is opening up some very positive doorways for you. Be generous with the things that you've learned. Be generous with the knowledge that you've acquired. Allow yourself the gift and other people the gift of being able to give freely of yourself. Doesn't mean you have to give to the point of pain. That's not generosity, that's martyrdom. You want to give where you can support, where it's not harming everyone is uplifted by it. And when you're doing it that way and for the right reasons, the receiving back is just as powerful. So that's kind of an interesting message there. Your second card is number 50, differences. This ties into your immediate outcome, that 8 of Cups energy, where you don't have to know all the answers. You don't have to have everything cookie cutter in the same way. Embrace the joy of differences in life. Enjoy how one flower's one color and one's another. Enjoy how different people interact. Even if you're in, like, let's say the United States, depending on what state you're in and where you move from or visit from different people from different states, they all talk differently. Well, how does that make your life richer? How do the differences and the unique quirks of every individual make life better? And when we look at differences, it's not in a judgmental state, and we're not picking it apart being like, oh, they're not like me. Yeah, they're not, and that's okay. But that also goes into that thing of we don't want to change others. You change yourself, work on yourself. That other person, and this is the key to this, as long as they're not hurting anyone else, leave them alone. And sometimes those differences can manifest in really entertaining ways. That coworker who constantly has something going on with their hair. They have no idea, they just literally change it week to week, and I've had one of those in the past. Or you never know when you walk in to like a store what the greeter's going to say to you. There's been some fun interactions I've had over the years with that, and it's because everyone's different. And so these people show up differently. Why? Because they enjoy life. They love the mystery of how things play out. And this is your call, Earth, to enjoy those differences yourself. And if you've always felt that you can't express them, maybe try something different this month. Your final oracle card is number 19 with understanding. The other two had very positive, kind of uplifting, energetic messages. This one is bringing in this calming, soothing understanding. It's the understanding of a parent to a frustrated child. It's the understanding of a spouse to someone who lost their family member. It's this comforting understanding where, yes, you may not know exactly how they feel, but you're willing to listen. Notice how big little dude's ears, little dude's ears are. It's because he wants to understand where you're coming from. This energy with periwinkles is really about getting to the quiet side of life, listening, watching, paying attention. Don't just listen with these things, and don't just watch with these. Do it through here. Listen with your heart. When you listen with your heart and your third eye, it opens up understanding in a way where you can see somebody, you can see their struggle. You don't get involved in it, but you're able to understand why they're feeling that way. And you may even see a pathway to supporting them or helping them along their journey as well. So, Earth, you are in this really cool dynamic this month of you had to deal with some things in the past. In the moment, you're looking good. And in the future, you've embraced this idea of living in the now equals living with mystery. And you're starting to enjoy it a lot. When it starts to get a little overwhelming, pull away, allow yourself to recover. That's that Two of Swords energy. Give freely of your time when you have it. Observe the differences in life and enjoy and embrace how fun things can really be. And then come to the understanding that life is never going to be perfect, and that's okay. We're here to enjoy it, we're here to grow with it, and we're here to expand because of it. With that, I will let you guys and gals go. Have a great rest of your month, and I'll see you in the next video.